Marc-Vivien Foé. Marc-Vivien Foé was one of Cameroon's most admired midfielders, a player known for his strength, smile, and endless energy. On June 26, 2003, he was representing his nation in the Confederations Cup semi-final against Colombia. In the 72nd minute, Foé was standing in the field, suddenly fell down and collapsed, with no player near him. The stadium fell silent as medics rushed in. For several minutes they fought to revive him, but despite every effort, he never regained consciousness. At just 28, he was pronounced dead. The autopsy revealed hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, a heart condition that can remain hidden. His teammates lifted the trophy for him days later, holding his picture high. Foé's tragic death led FIFA and football leagues to strengthen health screenings and emergency response systems. His number 17 shirt was retired by Manchester City, and his legacy will be always remembered and will never be forgotten. Antonio Puerta. Antonio Puerta was the pride of Sevilla, a young defender whose calm defending and powerful left foot made him a fan favorite. On August 25, 2007, during a match against Getafe, Puerta suddenly collapsed inside his own penalty box. As the medical team arrived, he briefly recovered and even walked off the field, but soon after, in the locker room, he collapsed again. He was rushed to the hospital, where doctors discovered that his heart had suffered repeated attacks caused by a hereditary condition known as arrhythmogenic right ventricular cardiomyopathy. Despite days of treatment, Puerta passed away at only 22 years. His death deeply affected Spain. Just a week later, his fiancée gave birth to their son, who would grow up without his father. Sevilla retired his number 16 jersey, and each season the club honors him before their home opener, keeping alive the memory of a young star gone too soon. Miklós Fehér. Miklós Fehér's death remains one of football's most unforgettable tragedies because it happened live before the world. On January 25, 2004, Fehér, playing for Benfica, was on the pitch in a Portuguese league match. After being shown a yellow card, he smiled and suddenly bent forward and collapsed. Within seconds, medics rushed, performed CPR but did not work out. He was then rushed to the hospital, but it was too late and died at the age of 24. The cause was cardiac arrhythmia, a sudden irregular heartbeat. Fehér's loss left Portugal in mourning. Benfica's fans covered the stadium with flowers and scarves, and his number 29 was permanently retired. For days, television channels replayed his final moments, the moments where the great player left the world. His death remains a lasting reminder of the importance of medical readiness during matches. Cheick Tioté. Cheick Tioté's story is one of determination and hard work. Born in Ivory Coast, he rose from humble beginnings to play for some of Europe's best clubs. Known for his strength and relentless energy, he became a fan favorite at Newcastle United. In June 2017, while training with Beijing Enterprises in China, Tioté suddenly collapsed on the training ground. Medical staff rushed him to the hospital, but he could not be revived and died at the age of only 30. News of his death shocked the football world, especially in England, where fans remembered his thunderous goal against Arsenal that completed a legendary comeback. He was known as a humble and respectful man who gave everything for his team. Tioté's death once again raised the issue of hidden heart conditions among athletes and the importance of better medical facilities in training sessions. His body was flown home to Ivory Coast, where thousands attended his funeral, saying goodbye to a national hero. Piermario Morosini. Piermario Morosini's life was marked by tragedy long before his death. He lost both parents and a disabled brother before turning 18. Yet he never gave up his dream of becoming a footballer. On April 14, 2012, while playing for Livorno in a Serie B match against Pescara, he was standing in a pitch and suddenly collapsed during the match. The referee stopped the game as medics ran onto the pitch. Sadly, an ambulance was delayed because a police car blocked the stadium gate, wasting precious minutes. Morosini was taken to the hospital, but pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The cause was cardiac arrest. He was only 25 years old. Italy mourned deeply, and all matches were postponed that weekend. His courage, both in life and on the field, became an inspiration. The Italian Football Federation later introduced stricter safety and emergency response measures at stadiums in his memory. He will always be remembered and will never be forgotten. Davide Astori. Davide Astori was known not just as a captain, but as a role model in Italian football. Calm, intelligent, and respected by everyone, he led Fiorentina with dignity. On March 4, 2018, tragedy struck when Astori failed to wake up in his hotel room in Udine, where the team was preparing for a Serie A match. He was found lifeless, having suffered a sudden cardiac arrest in his sleep. He was just 31 years old, and his death shocked the whole Italy. All Serie A matches were suspended that day. His teammates carried his coffin through streets filled with fans chanting his name. Fiorentina retired his number 13 jersey, and players across the league began wearing shirts with Davide 13 written on them. He left behind a partner and young daughter, and no one was accepting his death. Thousands of people were present in his funeral. Emiliano Sala. Emiliano Sala's death in 2019 broke hearts across the football world. After years of hard work, the Argentine striker had finally earned his dream move from Nantes to Cardiff City in the Premier League. On January 21, 2019, he boarded a small private plane from France to Wales. During journey, the aircraft disappeared over the English Channel, sparking a massive search. After days of uncertainty, wreckage was found underwater, and Sala's body was recovered. He was just 28 years old. The pilot, David Ibbotson, was never found. Investigations revealed the flight was unauthorized and unsafe, which leads to a crash. Sala's death became a symbol of both ambition and tragedy, a young man on the verge of greatness whose dream ended mid-flight. Fans from both France and Wales united to honor him, chanting his name as "One of Us, Forever." Andrés Escobar. Andrés Escobar was known as the Gentleman of Football, a player who represented Colombia with elegance and respect, but his story turned into one of football's darkest tragedies. During the 1994 World Cup, Escobar accidentally scored an own goal against the United States. This event shocked Colombia. When he returned home, he urged fans to stay calm and remember that life doesn't end here. But on July 2, 1994, he was shot and killed outside a nightclub in Medellin, reportedly in revenge for the own goal and the gambling losses it caused. He was only 27 years old. His murder highlighted the deadly intersection between football, money. His funeral was attended by thousands, and his death changed how people viewed the pressure placed on athletes. Today, Escobar is remembered not for that goal, but for his sportsmanship, humility, and lasting impact on Colombian football. Phil O'Donnell. Phil O'Donnell was more than a footballer. He was a leader and a family man. On December 29, 2007, during a match between Motherwell and Dundee United, O'Donnell suddenly collapsed while being substituted. Teammates and medics rushed to his aid, but he was later pronounced dead at the hospital due to heart failure. He was 35 years old, still playing at a high level and serving as captain. The tragedy hit his club hard, especially as his young nephew, also a player, was on the pitch that day. Tributes came from across Scotland, with Celtic and Motherwell both honoring his memory. His death led to renewed focus on cardiac testing for players. The main stand at Motherwell Stadium now bears his name, and his memories will always be remembered. Adam Ledwoń. Adam Ledwoń's story is a sad reminder that not all football tragedies happen on the field. A respected midfielder who played in Austria for years, Ledwoń was known for his fighting spirit and discipline. On June 11, 2008, during the UEFA Euro tournament, he was found dead in his home in Austria, in what was believed to be suicide. He was 34 years old. His friends said he had been battling emotional struggles and pressure from his career. His death opened an important conversation in European football about mental health and the unseen challenges players face off the pitch. Poland mourned deeply, remembering him as a loyal servant of the national team. His passing showed that even strong athletes can face silent battles, and his story helped push for better psychological support in football. Subscribe if you like this video.